Hey guys, Takstar Tech here for another video, and today we're going to be doing a review of 3 different headsets. The headsets that I'm going to be reviewing today were supplied by Takstar, and so I just wanted to give a shout out to them for supplying these headsets for me to review. But what I'm going to be doing is looking at these 3 headsets, what they do really well, which one I think is the best. Now you're going to notice that when I do the video here, I'm going to be using the headset so you can actually get an idea of what they sound like. And then I'm going to be talking about some of the features. And then I'm going to run through a very quick unboxing of each of these headsets so that you can see what's in the box and what you're actually getting with these devices. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start going through the devices here. The first one that we're going to be looking at is the one that I'm wearing, and this is the Forge. This is the Takstar Forge. Now, this headset is the largest headset in terms of physical size that I can tell. And if you look on the side here, you can see a little bit of what it looks like here. You can see that there is a light up icon here for the Takstar logo. There is a mic here, just to show you how that moves up and down there. So it's a very small microphone compared to some of the microphones that you're going to see on the other ones are a little bit longer. So while the microphone on this headset is the smallest one, and it doesn't extend out, it doesn't adjust the way the other ones you're going to see are able to adjust, I actually found that on initial testing, the audio quality from this one was the best in terms of the microphone. And I really like the way this one sounds as well. Now, another thing that's really nice about this headset, if you look here at the actual controls on the device here, you can see the Takstar logo, but then you see this icon right here. Now, if I flip that switch and I turn it on here, you can see that it lights up. What this little thing is going to do is it's going to give me the ability to actually turn on the surround sound here. So this is really great for gaming because with that feature on, you're going to be able to hear from all different directions. If you don't have it on, it's just as if you're wearing any other headset, but it does give you a more immersive experience if you turn on that feature. So this is, for me, been my favorite headset that I've used of the bunch. It's called the Takstar Forge, and I'm going to put up the prices here as well. Okay, so at the time of recording this video, the Takstar Forge is currently $79.99, but on Amazon, there's a 30% coupon that's going to significantly reduce the cost of this headset. So with that discount on there, with the 30% discount, that actually brings the final price to just under $60, which for this headset, I think is an incredible deal with the sound quality, what you're getting from the microphone. I think that's a really good deal. So this is, again, of all the headsets, been my favorite so far. I think one of the big things for me, just going over what I really liked about this headset, number one, it really fits my ears very well. It's large enough that it fits comfortably over my ears, but it's not too big where it's going to add an additional amount of weight onto your head. Again, also not too small, though, where it's going to be uncomfortable while you're wearing it. The sound quality is very good. If I listen to music, which is actually what I primarily use it for currently, it works really well when I'm listening to music. And when you turn on that feature for the surround sound effect, so I actually primarily use this for listening to music. And for me, the experience of music is as good as if you were using it for gaming, but it works for all of those purposes really well. Another thing that I really like about this headset is that it works really good at isolating noise, which is really important for what I use it for. In addition to listening to music when I'm working, for example, I also use it for my conference calls, and it's really useful because whenever I use this on my conference calls, number one, the microphone does block out the sound from outside, so it keeps any external noise from getting onto my conference calls. But more importantly, the headphones themselves isolate the noise perfectly, so I can actually hear what I'm saying pretty well. It doesn't isolate it too much where I can't hear myself speak, but it isolates the external noise enough where if I hear something or would usually hear something in the background that would distract me, I don't. I can completely hear my conference call, but again, it doesn't make it difficult for me to talk on my calls. And that's a really difficult balance to get with a lot of headsets. Some headsets block out the noise so much that when you're talking, you can't hear yourself. So it's a little bit awkward to use. Whereas other headsets, they don't block out the noise enough. So when you're on a conference call, you're going to hear all the noise in the background. So this headset is a perfect balance of the two. I use it for all of my conference calls, and it works perfectly. The other thing that I noticed is the sound is actually, it gets very loud on this headset. So when I need it for a conference call, some headsets are just too quiet. This one's not. It's very loud. Same thing for music. I never turn it up to the max because it gets very loud. Some of the other headsets aren't as loud in terms of the maximum volume that I can get to with it. They all get to a decent volume, but this one gets, I think, the loudest for me. Now, one thing I did notice is that when I turned this feature on for the surround sound, I did notice that it does cause the volume to automatically reduce just a little bit. So if I have the surround sound on, I usually have to turn the volume a little bit up to compensate. Overall, though, the volume level is very good with or without the surround sound on. Okay, so let's go ahead and play back the unboxing video here so you can see what comes in the package. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the box here. This is the Forge. You can see it comes in a red and a black box here. So we're going to go ahead and open this. You can see that it's very professional looking, or very classy looking box, I think. A lot of the third-party or smaller brand devices that I've gotten, some of them come in very basic boxes. They don't look expensive. I definitely found that all of the boxes that were supplied for the Takstar headsets looked very high quality. So I was very impressed with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside the box. So here is the headset. It doesn't come with too much. You can see it just comes with the cable here. Now this is a USB headset, as you can see. The other two headsets I'm going to be looking at are not USB headsets. Okay, so here you can see the cable. Now, the other two headsets that I'm going to be reviewing are not USB headsets. They're going to be just the standard audio jack, but this one is a USB headset. Very nice. Here you can see the size comparison to my hand. Comes with an instruction guide, and that's just about it. Okay, that's pretty much it for this headset. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the next headset, which is going to be a price drop, and then we'll look at the most expensive headset at the end of the video here, but we're going to switch over to the Takstar Flit. Okay, guys, so this is the second headset. This is the Flit. Just to look at what it looks like here, you can see, again, this has an adjustable microphone, the logo on the side. It is painted on, so this is not a light up logo like what we have on the other device. And you can see here just the physical size of this headset. So this is a smaller headset. It's definitely smaller on my ears than the other one that we were just looking at. So what's interesting about this headset is it does muffle my voice a little bit more, I think just because it has a tighter fit over my ears, but it doesn't necessarily block out external noise any better than the Forge does. I actually think the Forge blocks out external noise better, but it doesn't muffle my voice as much when I talk, meaning that it's a little bit less awkward when I'm on a call. Both of them are fine. I can certainly hear myself good enough where I can talk with this one on, but the Forge is a little bit more comfortable to talk, hear myself, but also blocks out noise just a little bit better. This is the least expensive one of the bunch, so I'm about to put this up from Amazon here so you can see what the price is. But it is very good, and what's also interesting is this little piece here, which you're going to see when I do the unboxing, is removable. So what's cool here is that you can use this as a pair of headphones, and you can listen to your music. If you're just listening to your music, then this can be removed or put back on when you want to use it as a headset. So you don't actually have to have this on. Now, as opposed to the Forge, that one you have the microphone on the side. It's small, so you can just push it up and it turns it back into headphones. This one, you completely remove the microphone if you don't want to use the microphone, or you just plug it into the jack here when you're ready to use it if you want. Okay, so the Flit here is going to be $69.99. So this headset is $10 cheaper than the Forge. If we look at the final price of this headset with the discount, it brings it to about $52 after tax and everything on Amazon, whereas the other one, the Forge, is about $59. So it's about a $10 difference, not even a $10 difference after tax. It's probably closer to about a $7 difference. So for me personally, if I'm looking at these two devices, I would absolutely go with the Forge. The one thing that I think will be to your advantage with the Flit is flexibility of using it on different devices, possibly. So for example, with the Forge, it is a USB headset. So if you're looking for something that's plug and play right away with a smartphone, for example, if your smartphone has an audio jack, then you can plug this straight in because it uses the standard headphone jack. Additionally, it comes with an adapter to split it off, which you'll see in the unboxing video. And then, of course, if you already use headphone jack-based headphones, you have to use an adapter. So you might have an adapter laying around. That'll make it easier to use on your mobile device. Whereas with the Forge, you can use it on a smartphone, but you would have to buy an adapter that turns the USB into a USB Type-C connector. So if you get one of those adapters, you can use either or. For plug and play, this one is probably going to work a little bit better out of the box. But the other things that I've noticed when it comes to all the different components with this one, there's a couple things to note here. So the quality of the microphone, for me on an initial testing here, has so far been best on the Forge. So I definitely think it's a little bit better than this one, which is interesting, even though this one, again, is a little bit more flexible. It comes closer to my mouth. I just thought the audio was a little bit crisper on the Forge. The quality of sound coming through the actual headphones themselves definitely has been best with the Forge. The Forge gets louder, it's crisper, and it also has that feature to set up surround sound, while as this one does not. Plus, the build quality on the Forge is definitely the best. Now, both of these are great headsets. I like them both a lot, but the Forge is just, again, my favorite so far. It's also the most comfortable one on my ears and the easiest one to use on a Zoom call. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the unboxing video for the Flit. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the Flit here. So here is the box for the Flit. A very similar look and feel again to what you get with the Forge as well as the Shade that we're going to look at later on. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. So here you can see in the box, comes with the headset. You've got a headphone jack connector here that you're going to be able to use to plug that into a smartphone or whatever device you have. The actual microphone itself is separate, and again, it comes with a headphone jack where you can just plug that straight into the headset itself, as well as a splitter here. And all of these have a nice feeling braided cable, which is going to prevent breakage and kinks in the cable itself. But here's the actual splitter. Starting now. Starting now. Then you can just see the headset here. So again, this is the little hole that opens up. So you open this little part here, and then you can actually plug in the microphone. Okay, guys, so that covers it for the Flit. Let's look at our final headset here. We're going to look at the Takstar Shade. Okay, so what we have here is the final headset that I'm going to be reviewing. This is the Takstar Shade. Now, this is actually the most expensive of the three headsets. And this one you can see here, it also does not have the light up icons here on the left or right. You've got your, similar to the last one that we just looked at, the Flit, it's got a detachable little microphone here. Now what's interesting here, the design's a little bit different. This one, the entire cable plugs in here with what's seems to be sort of like a headphone jack, plugs directly in the headset, whereas the other one, the cable is attached to the headset, but just the microphone plugs in. And then on the Forge, it just stores into the actual headset itself. So three different approaches. And this one is the most customizable one because you can actually remove all the wires. So that's probably, for me, one of the bigger advantages of this one is especially portability. You can actually remove all the cables and have just the headset itself, no cable attached. Store those separately if you want to, especially if you need it for space or whatever. There's multiple different cables that you get with this. There's a cable to just use it with a device that supports a headphone jack, and then you have this separate cable that has the microphone attached. This is an in-between in terms of size kind of headset. So the nice thing about this one is it's not as big as the Forge, but it's not as small as the Flit. Okay, so let me go ahead and put the Amazon price here for you. Looking at Amazon, again, what you're going to notice with this one, and this is true, what I do like about this one is it is very lightweight. And compatibility is a big thing here. It's compatible with a lot of different devices, you know, PCs, Macs, PS4, Xbox One. You can use it really with all your devices. Now, just again, as a disclaimer for this particular headset, um, even though it is out of the box meant to be compatible with all these devices, really all of them you can technically use with any of these devices. So none of them are more compatible than others. But again, this one does have a lot of different wire options that you can use. It is memory foam in terms of the materials that are used. So for me, again, one of the things that's positive with this one over the others, especially since this is more expensive, I would say that when I talked about the Forge being my favorite one for comfort, there's really one reason to that. It's because of the combination of isolation that I get with the fact that it fits over my ears perfectly. I will say that with this one, the overall comfort is the best in terms of that it's the softest on my ears. But the reason I prefer using the other ones and would put it as the category of more comfortable is because it gives me a better fit over the ears. These don't fit over my ears quite as well. Again, they're kind of intermediate. They're bigger than the Flit, but they're smaller than the Forge. So even though they don't fit over my ears as well as the Forge, because it's made of that memory foam material, they're softer. So if you wanted to wear something for a very long period of time, I did notice that the Forge, maybe if you're wearing them for, say, for me, I literally wore them for 8 hours on a virtual meeting. And eventually I did notice some wear with these. I don't think that I would ever feel the wear with this headset because it is more comfortable. The downside of this one, though, is it doesn't give you as good of isolation, for me at least. So, and that could again depend on your ear size, but for me, the isolation isn't as good on this one as on the Forge. It's a lot more comfortable for talking because I can hear myself best with this one on. So it's less awkward than the other two that do have some isolation. Again, the Forge, it's the right amount where it's comfortable to use. The Flit, it is a lot of isolation, so it does really affect how much you can hear yourself. These, it really doesn't affect you too much at all, so I can hear myself perfectly, but it doesn't isolate the sounds that I hear externally as well as the other two would. Okay, so just one last thing before we roll the video real quick, just to show you here, this is the control piece here. And so you can see it's got the Takstar name on it. It's got a little control to control the volume. And there's the mute switch. Okay, so let's look at the video for the unboxing here. Okay, so here we have the box for the Shade. We're gonna go ahead and look at everything that we get here. Now, again, same as all the other ones here, it is a standard red and black box that you're getting here. Okay, so inside the box here, you can see you've got your manual, and then you've got the headset itself. And again, you can see that in the box, the headset is completely separate. And then when I take this out, all the pieces have separate boxes and components. Okay, so here's what the headset looks like by itself. Again, not too big, not too small. It is a very intermediary size. Looks a little bit more premium than the Flit. I do still think that the Forge is the most premium looking of the three headsets. Then below here, we can see all the additional cables that you get, and you can see you get quite a few. So here is an extension cord. And then here you can see your standard headphone jack cable, or your 3.5 millimeter cable here. Now you'll notice that with these cables, by comparison to the other devices, that is not a braided cable actually. I might have said that by mistake before. So the first two were a braided cable. This one is a nice thick quality red rubber material, but it's not braided. And then here is the cable with the attached or built-in headset. All right, guys, so that's my review of these headsets. Again, Takstar makes some really great devices. I'll have a link in the description to their website, but also the Amazon links where you can get this on Amazon if you'd like to buy them from Amazon and see what they cost. Now, one exciting thing, guys, that I am doing, I do want to see you guys participate here. I am doing a giveaway. This is the first giveaway that I'll be doing. Takstar has been really great, and they're sponsoring this giveaway here. All you have to do is leave a comment below, like, subscribe. With your comment, you'll be entered for a chance to win one of these 3 headsets, and you can actually choose which one you want. If you're one of those people that leaves a comment that says free headset somewhere in your comment, after the giveaway date expires, I'll have all the details for the giveaway time frame in the description, so check that out. But when you leave your comment, I'll be picking 3 random winners. And for those 3 winners, once I pick you, I'll give you all the information you need so that you can get your headset, and then you can let me know what you think. You'll also be able to pick one of the 3 that you actually want, and we'll send you those headsets. So leave a comment below, say free headset. Let's do this first giveaway. Thanks again for watching, guys. This has been my review for the 3 great Takstar headsets, and thanks again to Takstar for providing these headsets for me to review. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.